Hello and welcome to a new episode of our program Women's World. I'm Yasmin Bakir, filling in this afternoon for my colleague Hala Al-Hamalawi. And of course, we're going to be, as every week, talking about a different issue, not just concerning women, but of course also concerning the society which women plays a greater role in. We'll be back right after this short break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back again, and today we're going to be talking about the 16th Alexandria's International Book Fair. Now, not only is the Cairo Book Fair very well known and well established and also popular among the Arab region and Africa, but also the 16th International Alexandria Book Fair is also another very important book fair that takes place, not only because it takes place at the Mediterranean Sea in the beautiful city of Alexandria, but it's also taking place at the Bibliotheca Alexandrina. And it's a very good chance to enhance the Egyptian culture and to encourage reading as well. So let's take a look at this following report where we get introduced to know more about what exactly is the 16th International Book Fair in Alexandria about.
The Bibliotheca Alexandria, headed by Dr. Mustafa Al-Fiqi, will open the 16th round of its International Book Fair from Monday till August 22nd, 2021 till August 30, 2021. This comes in cooperation with the Egyptian General Book Organization and the Egyptian Arab Publishers Association, and also with the participation of a large number of Egyptian and Arab publishing houses. Dr. Mustafa Al-Fiqi, director of the Library of Alexandria, said that the work is in full swing to open the exhibition in a manner befitting the library's standing and cultural weight. Al-Fiqi also called the members of the Publishers Union to participate in the exhibition organized by the library annually, in which the major Egyptian and Arab publishing houses participate. It is worth noting that the exhibition comes this year amid exceptional circumstances, and the library management has decided in this regard that the activities of the culture program for this session will be conducted through digital interaction, due to the library's keenness on community safety and its commitment to all precautionary measures in the face of the coronavirus. This year's culture program deals with a number of different seminars and meetings with the thinkers and intellectuals from Egypt and the Arab world. During the previous years, the exhibition succeeded in occupying a distinguished position on the list of Arab and international exhibitions, establishing its role as a unique cultural window that starts from the city of Alexandria.
Welcome back again. And you're still watching us here at Women's World. And to shed further light on the 16th International Alexandria Book Fair, we're joined over the phone by Dr. Wigdan Hussein. She's a senior translation specialist at Bibliotheca Alexandrina. Thank you very much for joining us, Doctor.
Thank you for having me.
Now, this International Book Fair in Alexandria is also very special and unique, equally of importance and significance as the one that takes place annually in Cairo. Tell us about the most important aspects of this book fair currently taking place in Alexandria.
The library is very keen to play the role of a culture hub where everybody meets. And when you say everybody, we're talking about young people, we're talking about adults, we're talking about intellectuals who can give culture events that will increase their appetite for knowledge. And what is better for this than a book fair where different publishers from the world, we are talking about 55 publishing houses from Egypt and the Arab region, are invited. And more than 160 cultural events is taking place.
That's very interesting. There's quite lots of publishers for this book fair. Now, as you've correctly said, this is a cultural hub. It's also a good opportunity for cross-culturing, which means that you get to be introduced to the different cultures and different styles of writings and format. If we're going to talk about the flux or flow of the citizens to this book fair this year, how would you evaluate it?
Well, unfortunately, we are part of the world. We are having a problem due to COVID-19. So we are restricting somehow the number of participants, but we are at the same time keen to have everyone.
Yes.
In the previous round, this round is the 16th round, okay? But in the 15th round before, this was really like, you know, a heap of people around, coming around from different nationalities. And the cultural events were held on BA premises, where there was a huge interaction with audience from different ages and different backgrounds and interests.
Yes.
This year we are holding the events online, and online events have different variety of audience where people can interact from different parts of the world. This will give us a broad broadcast for our events, but at the same time will take out the direct interact with people due to the pandemic.
Of course, yes. Doctor, I also want to speak to you, I mean, from your field of specialization on the translation process. There's a lot of books that have been translated either from Arabic to foreign language or vice versa. Do you think that when you translate novels and books, does it lose its essence and identity, or is the different forms of language not really a big difference? What's your suggestions?
Well, definitely you have to lose something in the translation process. This is known. I mean, there is this school that calls translation, a translator is a thief, because it has a translator always takes something from the translation. It's never the original part. But again, if you have a good translation, you can capture the essence. You can give the meaning, the basic meaning. And it differs from what kind of translation are we talking about. If you are talking about scientific translation or literary translation. And in the Arab region, we are not a producer of knowledge anymore. And we are in a basic need of this translation movement to bring as much knowledge as possible to the Arabic reader. And that's what we encourage to talk to publishing houses and ask them to encourage this movement. And of course, this is really of vital importance to have this huge translation movement, especially for scientific material.
Yes.
As for literary material, it depends really on how good the translator is and how he can manage his tools. We had really good translations of different novels or literary works all over the world that were, I won't say better, but it was really good example, even if it's taught in all over the world in translation classes, how we can overcome this.
Of course.
But generally speaking, of course, there is something missing in the translation. It is not the original work.
Of course it's not. Now, Dr. Wigdan, also I don't know if you've noticed or not, but recently we are seeing the rising of young writers and authors who are very interested in writing and publishing their own books, even if it's going to be a little bit costly for them, but they are keen to spread themselves and have their thoughts and their ideologies and their feelings being shared. We've seen that very clearly in the Cairo International Book Fair. The presence of the younger generation at the 16th International Alexandria Book Fair, how do you see them?
I think it's very healthy. What you're talking about is a very healthy phenomenon, because this phenomenon means that young people are there, they can produce, they can express themselves. As you said, there is a spotlight on their work now. Some of the events in Alexandria Book Fair, in the BA Book Fair, is dedicated to those young people. Not all of them, but of course, they have to take part in our culture events. We have to introduce them to the Alexandrian audience and to whoever is going to take part in this online event, because this is partly our role, to introduce those young voices, to make them heard by everyone they can reach us.
Absolutely, of course, I agree with you as well. Dr. Wigdan Hussain, Senior Translation Specialist at the Bibliotheca Alexandrina. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
And it is also a good, important opportunity, because encouraging people to read, not only does it enhance their knowledge, but it also gives them a wider perspective of what's happening around them. That's just beyond the visual impact, especially with the use of technology and smartphones and televisions. So it doesn't give much chance for people, and particularly the younger generation, to be able to use their critical thinking and their analysis tactics. Now, that brings us to the end of our episode of Women's World. Thank you very much for watching.